Welcome back to Red vs. Blue episode summaries. Today, we'll be doing episode 21, Motion to Adjourn. At Blue Base, the Reds were fully in sight as they had moved up further, and Church, Tucker, and Frank were hiding behind one rock, Caboose another, further up. Church orders Tucker to go up to where Caboose is, help him stop the defense and establish suppressing fire, and continue doing so until further instruction. Tucker admits he had no clue what half of that military talk meant, with Church simplifying the order to Tucker just going up to Caboose's rock and firing his gun a lot. Tucker still denied the order, not wanting to get shot on the way to the rock, with Church arguing that there was no time to debate him. Tucker rebuttals that Church was just saying that since he wasn't at risk, getting to stay with Frank, who he calls Nancy No Bullets, and simply shoot to breeze, while Tucker has to eat a machine gun sandwich. Church defends that he'll give Tucker covering fire, with Tucker scoffing in response, stating that the only thing that would help would be a huge bulletproof wall between him and the Reds, so he figured Church would probably need a new plan, heavily suggesting one that involved him keeping the same amount of blood he had currently. Church sarcastically responded that coming up with a new plan would be no problem, jokingly clarifying if the blood had to be inside his body or not. Meanwhile, Griff was shaking from firing so rapidly, complaining to Simmons that he couldn't feel his hands. Simmons, who was also firing rapidly, called Griff a dumbass, suggesting he lay off the trigger. Meanwhile, Church had shifted his focus to Frank, ordering him to go help Caboose, calling him Doc. Frank simply responded that his name wasn't Doc, it was Frank Dufresne. Church countered that he couldn't pronounce that, so from now on he would call him Doc whether he liked it or not. Doc's rebuttal that he didn't feel comfortable with the name since he wasn't a doctor, only a medic. Tucker questions what the difference is, believing them to be the same, but Doc clarifies that a doctor actually helps people, as opposed to a medic simply making them more comfortable while they die. Tucker, realizing how this could explain Frank's uselessness so far, losing faith in his medical abilities, makes a mental note not to get shot. Despite Frank's explanation, Church officially declares Frank's new name as Doc, with Doc doubting it would stick, but Tucker assuring him it would. Doc's name then comes up on the screen as he gets a scene resembling one from the Season 1 intro. Church then repeats Doc's order to help out Caboose, with Doc reminding him he was a pacifist, meaning he doesn't even have a gun. Church, just wanting Doc to be somewhat useful, suggested only half-jokingly for him to simply go and yell bang bang bang, presumably as an intimidation tactic. Doc even vetoed this idea, however, claiming even that was too aggressive, to Tucker's simultaneous disappointment and disbelief. Doc added that he also was only supposed to help if someone got hurt first, leading Church, fed up, to explain he understood and shoot Caboose in the foot, showing how much he wished for Doc to do something. Church, after sarcastically acting surprised, bitterly explained that now the Caboose was hurt, Doc had to get over to him and assist him. Doc, shocked, claimed that Church could have just asked him nicely. Meanwhile, Simmons bitterly stated he was out of ammo, asking Griff to give him some more. Griff scoffed at the request, questioning why he should when he only had one bullet left and no extra. Simmons rebuttals that shouldn't be possible, since Griff was the one who was supposed to carry all the extra ammo into battle. Griff questioned when that was decided, leading Simmons to remind him of the last staff meeting. Griff responded with shock that they actually talked about important stuff during those, admitting he always just slept through them in his helmet. Simmons, frustrated but not really surprised, simply lectured Griff for missing his assignment, with Griff questioning what his job was, with Simmons revealing he was the social chairman, whatever that meant. Sarge then joined the conversation, also asking Griff for more ammo, explaining he and Donut were out. Simmons, just briefly feeling bad for Griff and what Sarge might do to him, suggested the perfect way Griff could use his last bullet, insinuating shooting himself. Due to the ammo problem, Doc manages to arrive at Caboose's rock unharmed, questioning where he was hit. Caboose could barely respond due to the shock and pain, simply repeating his foot over and over. Doc further questioned if it was the left foot, making Caboose have to think heavily on which side was left. Before Caboose could respond, Doc clarified that he would just assume it was the bleeding one, with Caboose confirming it was the red one, adding how surprised he was that Church shot him, leading Church to yell at him from across the canyon, shouting, "Don't even start with that!" Doc further questioned Caboose if anything else was wrong besides the bullet to the foot, leaving Caboose confused why Doc wasn't taking immediate action, but still responding with the problem on his mind, being how sometimes he thinks about his parents having sex when he goes to bed, adding how it makes him really mad for some reason. Doc, instantly regretting asking his latest question, declares he'll just start with the foot, which Caboose allows. Meanwhile, back at the other rock, Tucker finally questioned why the Reds stopped firing, with Church nonchalantly suggesting they may be out of ammo. As if on cue, much to Church's surprise, Sarge called out across the canyon, issuing an offer for the Blues to surrender.